We are live.
Uh-oh.
Wow, you got that down to the T there, Gage. That was so professional.
Right.
Soup Dupe Live, bruh. How can you see? Oh, I probably can't, huh? This is great. So like, now we're easy, right? How can you see all the
What, you're
people?
gonna start mumbling about how you're gonna see the chat, Lindsay?
Right, I've got my phone here. So can I open it up on my phone? Here we go
Yeah,
again.
but just turn the volume down.
Exactly. Just make sure the volume's down.
Okay. Whose page are we on right now? Are we on Gage?
No, we're still on mine because basically Gage is still sorting his out. You know, Gage as well that the admin is going to take 24 to 36 hours for you to click in as well. So make sure you get that sorted as well, because otherwise you're going to end up going live and you're not going to have anybody to help you, even to let people in or put people on solo. So
Okay.
how's your McDonald's internet, Ledka? Still playing up?
What?
Is volume okay, Letka?
I said, how's your McDonald's?
Say what?
I
Hey,
said,
what?
"Good,
How's your McDonald's internet holding up?
Somebody texted to him.
Yeah, so.
So.
Sometimes good, sometimes bad.
Right.
Listen, I know all about that.
And if
So
I
you've been
disappear,
pairing
that means
this
it's real
week?
bad. They
You've
just
been
booted
pairing
me.
this week?
What?
You did some pairing this week?
Me? I just pulled my super black pastel het pied out of a bin that he was locked with her for like 4 days.
Wow.
Super black pastel het pied to a leopard het pied. So basically, I'm just doing it just to prove him, because he was purchased a while ago and wasn't ever, he hasn't been proven, and he wasn't purchased from somebody that like I really knew. He was one of like the first few snakes that I got, and he was a phenomenal price. So threw him in, and it's kind of hard to tell with him if he's het pied, since he's super black pastel. So those tracks and everything are kind of hard to see. I can pull them out and show you, and you can tell me. He's not. I don't know what and maybe you can explain this too. So the super black pastels that are just a super black pastel, not like my panda, right? So without the pied, the best way I can describe it, and this is not a valid way of describing it at all, but the best way I can describe it is that their color has to be almost like they have a certain amount of coloring, like a little, jar of coloring that is now spread out throughout his entire body. So he's not black. He's not jet black, right? But you guys saw my super black pastel pied, my panda pied, she's jet black. So.
And yawns on command. I said, and she yawns on command.
I know her like the back of my hand. I don't have another snake really that I know that well. So I got really lucky, but I also do know the animals that I know. Like,
right.
I'll never be wrong on that. But here's this guy, right? Like, are there track marks? I don't know.
That's a crazy deal.
Like, I don't know if those are track marks or what. Or whoa. But from the pairing that I was told that
Why
he
is
was.
it not working?
It's working great.
Yeah.
What's the problem, guys? I put on solo ages ago.
Yeah, she's
So
on.
did
So
I, but it's not showing it on my end.
Huh.
This is what I was saying earlier. Is like I'm clicking it, but it's not. Oh, now it shows it.
technology is great if and when it works.
So, okay, Gage, now you're seeing his tail end.
Yes.
Okay, hold on. This is like the most confusing thing when it reverse camera thing. You know what I mean? So
Right.
I don't know if he like it looks like he's bruised. Honestly, or to be totally honest. Know what I mean? Wait, this way. Okay. So he's from the pairing that we both seen, there's no way that he's not het pied. So
It's just having trust in the person, whether they're telling you the truth about the pairing, right? Whether they're actually just. Oh, you lot are killing me, Gage.
I didn't do it.
You didn't? Did you do
No.
something else?
No, I just tried to take you off.
Dude, StreamYard has so much issues.
StreamYard is freaking out.
Yo, did you watch my live?
What's up,
of,
bro?
Bullshit.
Yeah.
Kid, what's
What's
up?
good, guys?
Always good to see you, brother.
Yeah, man. Thanks for those of you that showed up.
hi.
StreamYard says.
Oh, I didn't do
It's like-
nothing.
I didn't do it.
Hold on a second. You didn't double click the screen maybe for you. What happens if I double click the screen? Oh, I make you guys bigger. That's actually even better.
Oh, that's dirty, man.
Oh, StreamYard is all kinds of messed up tonight. Oh, there you are.
Guys, don't touch anything. I'll be in charge of the buttons.
All right, hands off.
Hands off.
You're doing
Sometimes
great.
you're doing
honestly.
something at the
Hands
same
off,
time
he
I'm
says.
doing it. And when you're doing it at the same time that I'm doing it, actually we end up booting the person out instead of putting them onto the Sogo.
Yeah. So, for me, it was actually a great live with Malacio.
Yeah.
And I wanted to rock this stuff, but I got it afterwards. So, Lindsay, show off
This is
snakes.
like right afterwards.
What does it say? Reptile tracking. Reptile tracking. Hold on. I know the logo and I don't know what it is.
Husbandry Pro.
Yeah.
Oh, duh.
And they sent me this mug, right?
Awesome.
How come they send you all that stuff? I didn't get that.
Do you use Husbandry Pro, Ken?
Got the mug, used the program. I don't know.
Yeah, he bought this shirt, so they sent the mug for free.
Yeah. But
Bought
it could have
the
been because I
Okay.
was hanging out with Jeremy Warhol on his live when he had Robert and Billy on.
Mhm.
So maybe they were nice. I don't know.
Maybe.
That's super.
So you don't use Husbandry Pro, Ken?
No, I do. I love it, and you should use it. I'm not
We do too.
sponsored by them or anything, but I love it. It's great.
You use it as well, AJ?
We do all of our breeding plans through it. And, all of our feedings, cleanings.
Lindsay, you
You
use something like that as well?
What other thing is there like that? I'd like to know. I do use it.
reptile
Well,
scan and
but-
clutch, I believe.
Yeah, okay. So I actually, never mind. You're right, Kent. I do. I use, first I used reptile. What
Scan?
is it?
Reptile scan.
Yeah.
That's what Nicole
A green
uses. as
app,
well.
a green app with a snake on it or something. Is the app on your phone? Is it like green? Reptile tracker? What is it? So I do have Husbandry Pro. If the answer to that is yes. So I've got like the breeder package or whatever, which is I think up to 500 animals.
Oh, so
so
you got the big boy deal.
No, hold on. The tell me what the packages are, because I don't feel like it's a big deal. This is,
So
I'm not
in,
like the business. There's
There's
something
collector.
that's like up to 50 animals.
Collector's up to 50. That's where I'm at right now. And then there's breeder, which is like 100 something on. Like it escalates.
Okay. So the reason I think I did breeder was because I have what's the
You have enough animals so
What's the
you
thermostat?
have to do it.
No, I have 50. I have 50 animals. I don't have 100 animals. So I have 50 animals, but it will link. And here's the kicker: is I haven't figured out how to do it yet. But if you bump it up one notch, and it's only a couple dollars more, like a month, if you pay for the year in full. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I've done that
So
for
with
my
the breeder
level.
package, I just purchased in full, and then I'm able to attach, like, link my thermostat to the Husbandry Pro, but I've yet to figure that part out. So
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot. I mean, I'm a proponent of it because it works for me because of my small collection. I was able to onboard easily. But I don't have the link where it's like, oh, here's my store. I don't have that. I'm not big enough yet. I mean, I am, but I'm not importing all my other animals to make me that level that's over the 50.
so you have only your ball pythons on there.
Correct. I have my ball pythons and my boa. That's all I have. But I could add leopard geckos, Russian tortoises, and I'm still working with Robert on those animals behind the scenes. But I don't want to add them in to just feed.
So here's where I got a little bit frustrated, and I'd love to hear your insight on this. And I've yet to reach out and ask anybody, but so this is like my first reach out to ask. But somebody the other day, I was trying to send somebody, because it's always fun to look at other people's collections and then do see what they would do pairing wise, right? So they could see the weights of each animal and the year they were born, let's say, and the sex of the animal and what their genes are. Okay. Let's say that's all we need, right? When I'm trying to share my collection with you, to have you see basically what I see on my
Market or Instagram or whatever.
Right. So in order to just create an Excel sheet or essentially, or send over all of that information without all of the extra stuff, I'd love for there to be a way for me to go on and say, okay, select all animals that I have. All of my animals are ball pythons anyways, right? My German Shepherd's not in there. So
you can talk to Robert. You can add him. I might think about adding Stella to Beagle. But yeah, I get that.
Yeah. So in an effort to so then I want to also, okay, what all gets added in? Because when I tried to go send all of the information to this person, right, everything was on, so I had to export it. Okay. So I exported it, all the information, everything's on there. Everything, cell phone number, email address of the breeder, how much I purchased them for.
So that
I don't want all that to be in there.
That stuff got attached with all the snakes. Okay, I didn't know that.
And names and names. I mean, I didn't care when I was doing it with this person. It didn't really matter. It just made it very difficult for them and really myself if I wanted to just have a list of animals, of my animals, their current weights, and the year they were born, and if they're male or female. I'd love to always have an updated, printed out list sitting right here on the side. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I think for with Husbandry Pro, you can I can scan that QR code, and you get my list of everything what I want to share with you publicly, and you can deal with that, right? And
right.
But the phone numbers of the breeders, that
So like everything got. So
yeah. So like
it didn't
this-
share the
this
stuff that I
snake, you
wanted.
got Brian Bartek's personal number,
Right, right.
something like that. So you want to avoid that. That's something I can talk to Robert about and talk with Billy and Jeremy about. If
Yeah.
that's something that's coming through when you scan like that. Here's
Or
our
even if
list.
it's not a scan. So what if
Well, I mean,
because
my
right
number's on Morph Market.
what was that?
My number, my phone number is on Morph Market. So you look up Crapper Morphology, you get my phone number, my email. So
Everybody gonna blow him up.
yeah,
Right,
yeah.
but-
I mean, I'm gonna ignore you for a while. Yeah.
but what is so how come you're saying that your numbers are more, I guess. So
No, I mean, I have no issue with if somebody wants to buy this champagne pastel, they can call me right now. I might not answer them, but I'll get back to them soon.
right, but like if you're trying to share, let's say you were confused about how to pair your snakes. Let's just pretend. I know that you're not. I'm sure you've got it all handled. But
We'll promote everything.
but let's just say you wanted some insight on it.
Okay.
How are you going to share those particular snakes?
Well, she wants to be able to share certain aspects of the information without sharing
Everything.
all information.
so being
Shout out
able
to
to
those
That's why
that
you're on these shows. And, I don't think there's a way to actually do that in an app
I don't think so either. I tried for about 6 hours one night.
to get the information you're trying to glean from that.
Yeah,
It would have
I
to go like
tried
a little
to-
quick box for show or don't show publicly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I
like
mean-
let's say I'm trying to export an Excel sheet, okay? Whether it's
Yeah, I
for me
mean,
or for somebody else.
CSV, you can do that.
But I wanted to
Husband,
choose what was shared and not shared. And you can do that, but it's not when you export data. Okay, so exporting data, it just exports all the data no matter what. So that would be like all apps and all things like this have like little bugs or little quirks that you don't think of until you think of it, right?
Yeah, I mean,
And
I did my
Right.
export from Husbandry Pro to Morph Market, and I got adult sinks for hatchlings. So I mean, there was a little riff.
Ooh, okay. So that's one thing that I have not done is tried to transfer the stuff over to Morph Market. I just took all the time and manually entered everything
Yeah,
into
so
Morph Market
you can,
and into Husbandry Pro, which took about 4 weeks to do.
yeah, it's a lot when you have a big collection.
Guys, could you imagine me trying to put all my information on Husbandry Pro?
No. Mike,
That's a full-time job right there, Mike.
Mike's
It's a total nightmare for about 2 weeks until you get everything in. But once you get everything in, and like I'm a thorough person, so I want everything to be in there. Like, here's why. Okay, so email addresses of the breeder. So you have to like manually enter in each and every single breeder. And let's say
you can
I
avoid that.
use the breeder's business card, and that came with the snake that I got at Tinley or whatever it is, right? And I don't know their email address anymore. And not everybody is super thorough and has that information on their Morph Market. And sometimes they just write their cell phone number on the back of their card.
That is
So-
Mike's Husbandry
Yep.
Pro right there.
Right
There you go.
there it
That-
is.
That is my life right there. I'm not kidding. I have Husbandry Pro.
Big Mike is the real husbandry pro.
Oh my gosh.
You've got everything. This is gonna be like 2
'Cause
years
I-
to input all this shit in Husbandry Pro.
to figure out ways to organize stuff like this. And it doesn't look organized, right, to anybody on the outside, but I can
But
guarantee
it
you
is. Look at all them
it is
binders.
very
back there.
organized. Yep. That's organized right there. Like very.
Males on that side, females on that side. Males get blue books, females get pink books.
Yeah, but imagine taking all that and just being able to scan an app, right?
Right.
That's what
Right.
Husbandry Pro is.
right? And you
Fuck,
can
I
just
sound like a plant.
Husbandry Pro is it really truly is absolutely amazing.
Like you clean everything, scan, tap, done.
I'll never not have my notebooks though, because if for
Honestly, I
whatever reason
uploaded all my
they all go
CSV,
bye-bye,
my Excel stuff into Husbandry Pro.
hmm,
Oh,
so
Gage has
Yeah, that's good coffee.
the oh man, my thing's over there. But yeah, I mean I like it. I don't want to
So
sound
when
like
it
a
comes
What
to
is
feeding,
going
though,
on?
when it comes to feeding, what I do is I still write everything down
It's
in a
all good,
notebook,
Gage.
and
So,
then I transfer it over to
Lindsay,
Husbandry Pro. And I know
so-
it sounds really silly and it's double the work, but I
So
do it anyways.
when you're talking about feeding, just track the feedings,
Not the what?
not when they don't eat, unless you have to.
Okay, it's really hard though. Okay, I can't ever. I've yet to be able to scan an entire rack and say
They
the
all
whole
ate.
rack is eaten. So I have to go through, and if my default rat for them is still a weaned and they're now on a small, then it shows that they ate a weaned. Do you know what I mean? So I just go.
Yeah, I'm on like negative 500 rats that I have.
I don't enter in my rat.
I don't have my lives, but I have my frozens, and I
Inventory.
Inventory. Thank you. Yeah. So I don't ever scan a whole rack. I just search.
Can
each
you
of them
not?
all.
Does it not have the ability to, if you've got, say, a rack of 12 animals and 10 of them ate, does it not have you the ability to scan all 12 and then remove the 2 that didn't eat after?
Yeah. I mean, there's
can.
a lot
Yeah,
more.
which is amazing if I were to use that.
So, like, when I clean everything, it's like scan rack, done. Clean, change water.
It's nice to have these codes on it because we can just after we go through and feed, like all we have to do is just flip that code,
Fed.
mark what fed, and it's real easy to change it real fast if they end up eating a live that week, like
Yeah. I mean, AJ's right.
Yeah. So I actually haven't printed out labels yet because I'm still trying to figure out. I want them to be like cool and personal.
When you get up to the higher level, they can be like business cards and pretty.
Yeah, I need
Lindsay,
to print out.
go watch
Yeah.
Jeremy Warfel's live from like last week with Robert.
So funny story. So Jamie was in that chat and he's like, I'm trying to learn about Husbandry Pro. And I'm like, babe, I've told you all the things about Husbandry Pro.
And Billy was there and he didn't know half the crap that was going on. And here I am
know.
with a fucking shirt and a mug. And
I love that.
I sound like they plan to be here again. But anyway, I love it. Despite what
I need to go
Jeremy
back and
tells
watch it.
you, he knows a lot about it. But yeah, anybody want to ask me, we'll go backstage. I'll go through how I do my thing. Yeah, I'll help you out.
Yeah, I do. I need a little, like, I know that all of the tools are there and I know that
Is how to get them. And
I know
are
it's
you at that level.
1,000,000,000%. It's just, it's a total learning curve. And anytime you're
learning
learning something new,
process, right?
it's just going to be a difficult thing for a little bit. So I'm fine with it still being
And then
difficult.
eventually it will become like second nature, Lindsay. Eventually, it's just like every other system that we
Yeah.
set in place in our collection, that we set that system in place so that once we get used to that and get used to that, it becomes like a second nature that you do it almost without even thinking about it because it just becomes so natural. And it takes time to get to that point, whether it be Husbandry Pro, whether it be the paperwork, the way that I do it, whether it be how you feed, when you breed, that you do things in a more even way. Are you going or am I? I'm going to get that person. Gage.
You told me hands off, Mike.
What a bot.
Yes, you told me.
Big shout out to
Oh,
That-
mullet man and
well
Swab is here.
Dude, look
What
at
up?
your hair, dude.
Make me got my hair. Mullet man, Jack.
How you guys doing?
Still
Good, Zach. How we doing,
What's
bro?
up, Zach?
I'm doing good.
Is that a body?
big-
Oh, jacket. That's right.
big shout out to Fred for setting up all this Street Pro stuff, because I was wanting to do it the same way as Mike with the notebooks and stuff. And now that I'm used to it, so much easier.
Right?
Really? So do you write anything down?
No, like anything we need to, we just scan the card and we can put it in the notes in there or whatever.
Yeah,
Okay.
like with this one girl still assisting, I scan the tag, assist fed, boom, done. Back in the
Done.
But you write it down as well, Lindsay. You like to write things down as well.
I
So-
write it all down because here's why. Okay. I don't know if everybody else is like that, but this is how I am. Okay, so call me totally crazy if I'm out of line here. Okay, I throw rats in. Okay, depending on my rat availability, right?
okay.
You know, I go through my rats basically first. I've got all of them sitting right here. I lay them out. This is my system. So please pick through it and correct me and like tell me how to do better, because it doesn't seem like a very great system for me. But I look at all of my rats and I say, okay, this snake can eat this rat, and I'll know that that snake is fed for the week. Like it'll be a solid meal for the snake. Okay. If
Yeah.
typically I don't have the exact perfect size for each rat or each snake. Okay. So
Yeah, I mean that makes sense.
then I kind of adjust it, right? Like, so all of my
Be two
these
smalls or two wings or whatever instead of a
right,
medium.
exactly. Two large weaned, or one extra small, or whatever it is. It's kind of a different situation each time for each snake. So, or like this snake didn't want to eat last week, or the snake was in shed last week. So I know, like, and I typically feed a little bit smaller. So I don't, and people always say to me, like, you could definitely feed a much larger rat than that. And I don't care. Okay. What I'm doing works for me. So if I feel comfortable and I feel like I know my snakes, and the smaller weaned rats, if I feed them too weaned, they're less likely to bite the snake. And if it's a particularly sensitive snake, then I know that
Look
too
at you,
weaned is better for
freaking
them.
ivory bitch. Over here.
So I throw in. So what I do is I look at all the rats, right? I'll throw a weaned into, weaned, and usually all of these guys are about even-ish, right? And then these guys are all a little bit different. Some of them are picky eaters, some of them are not. And then if somebody, oh, you want to come up? So then I put a clip on for animals that have a rat in there, and then I put a different clip on for animals that could be fed a second rat if they eat that first
Okay.
one. You know what I mean?
I mean, I used Husbandry Pro, but I also have these cool blue Post-it notes that I slap on whomever's in shed, right?
Yeah.
Or I have green ones over here too for who's eating.
I
Right?
don't use no tags, no nothing. I feed my animals and then I sit down and I write it in the book and I remember it with a whole.
No. You're blue.
So you can't possibly
Blue,
remember
right.
one
There you go.
Did I use that one a
You gotta
second
think until
or
I
not?
update you in Husbandry
So
Pro.
then the ones that get a second one get a second clip on there. So then I know they ate one,
yeah,
not only
clip.
one,
Both
but if they have a
notes.
second clip on there, that means they ate the second, or they have a second rat in there and they
Yeah,
ate the first one. So I have a whole, it's all like, right, a total mental, like I know what's going on with I know my system.
Yeah,
So
and there's
they-
tons of different
they
ways to do
use
everything.
Yeah, of course. There's no one way.
pulled all the clips off. I'm like,
No, there's no clutch food, right?
But thanks for the help, babe.
I mean, I'm also the idiot that put my stickers on all the tubs. So
But with Husbandry's Pro, Lindsay, couldn't you just, once you fed that animal, instead of putting clips on,
you can
like
tag it.
just
It'll be done.
click them all those animals and then feed the next rack, and then once you fed out,
Why would I do that? Because I'm not gonna tag them all and say
You don't
that
have
they
to have
ate.
them all. Hold on.
Because I didn't. Maybe they didn't eat. All I did was
no,
throw.
but that's what I mean. But couldn't you go down a rack, feed a rack, and then after you finish that rack, go along it and click the ones that ate, and then not click the one, and then move to the next rack, and
you
just
can. Hold
just
on.
to save yourself all the.
There should be a system where you can write in offered food. Then there
Yeah,
should be a system where you can.
Yeah,
then
there is
click
in there. That
click
you
in that
it's
rack and say
refused.
took food.
Hold on, I'm trying to get it up on my phone, but
And
But
then
that would then mean you'd have to go in there twice. You'd have to go in there and click the fact that you'd offered it food, and then you'd have to go in there again and click
this
the
is why
fact.
I write everything down and only go in there once.
that's, like I said earlier,
What I mean?
I only track what I feed, right?
I just use the name tag on here for that. It's like if they ate, it's right side up. If they saw a rat and didn't eat, the name tag's upside down.
Yeah.
Then I can move it from left to
So
right. And I can
here's
get 2
my,
or 3
like
times
today's
feeding.
feeding. Here's what's gonna get
Yeah,
done.
everybody's got their own weird little system for whatever stuff they've got.
Absolutely.
Here's my inventory of racks.
As long as you know your system and it's working for you, you're
Yeah,
doing a
don't
good
fuck it up.
Yeah.
I
Well,
wouldn't
it also
Exactly.
shows my refused animals. Here's my like breeders and males that
not
are
like easy.
doing their thing. So.
I think
there's-
the whole idea of Husbandry Pro is to make everything easier, right?
Right.
And I
What's
think
that,
that once
Lindsay?
I post, it should make everything easier.
Yeah, it definitely.
But
Zach,
like,
you
I
use
have
Husbandry
everything
I'm still
Pro?
writing it
loaded.
down.
No, I just write stuff down on a notepad.
Look at him. He's a fucking millennial.
No, I feel like I am too. I was born in '88. Am I a
Yeah,
millennial?
I was
89
born.
here.
I was 89.
I'm a technological guy.
Right. I
If there's
should
a
be more
process
technological.
to make it
than
easier.
I am, apparently.
Yeah, I've got an excuse. I was born in 1970.
At least you weren't born as a hippie, so like you got that. But yeah, anybody that wants to use Husbandry Pro, you can message me.
Yeah,
on
yeah,
stage
we
on
have
my
a
end,
book.
and I'll go through everything with you.
I
That I have on
really
my end.
actually love that because I need some serious help. Who's Alex, bruh?
That's my wife.
That's,
That's
Yes,
Zach,
Big shout out.
right?
Alex, that's my girl right there. I love it. It works better. Okay. If I want to go back and see like who ate something,
You can do that.
actually,
see
I guess
whatever
I'll be honest,
the hell they
what I
did.
find
You see
first is I go to
when you chat,
Husbandry
when you
Pro and look,
clean water.
but because my notebooks are always like, it's my own notes for just that day, so I
Yeah, but
understand
you can
it
also
for that
throw
day.
those notes in with like scan.
and
Yeah.
you know what, Lindsay? That's the thing. You see, when you build that paper copy over years, all right, and I've now got paper copies that are years old, and I can look at females and I can look at how they're behaving, and I can tell you that if you as you start to build that bigger collection of information, the pattern starts to show. And maybe you can call me old-fashioned, it's fine. I can put 10 female books on the counter and look at where they are and where their growth is, and look at the patterns appearing amongst all of the animals at the same time. And I can use that information. The more you collect information, the more helpful it is. And the
Correct.
longer
Yeah, definitely value.
the longer that you collect that information for, it allows you to see the patterns starting to appear. That Gage once told me that when he first started, he used to collect information, but basically stopped because he wasn't explained to what that information can tell him. Right? And so he felt that he was just recording the feeding just to record the feeding.
Right.
Right. And
Yeah,
sometimes to me it seems silly because it hasn't been relevant or needed so far, because I have a collection right now that I
Yeah, who
remember.
cares when
I know who my
something
pet
shit, right?
eaters are, but like when my collection grows to be bigger and or somebody wants or I sell that animal, I don't know. I mean, I think
No,
That brings up a nice
know that
too.
history.
With the Husbandry Pro,
There's a lot.
we print off all the information that we have on Husbandry Pro, and that information goes with the animal. So
Yeah.
Mike was
Yeah,
saying, more
and that's
information,
all of the information.
they get all of the feeding information, all of like everything. So
You know how many times I assist fed this one, how many times it took whatever, how many times it shed,
get-
whatever.
you buy
That's what's
straight from me, you get
information sometimes, but
you get the
She
whole
comes with a passport. She comes with a passport.
Mike,
Comes with an ID
yeah,
number.
I mean,
You buy a
Mike
snake
will
from
tell
me.
you the
Comes with
history
an
of
ID number.
I'm gonna send you a QR code that you can
So-
scan.
So Mike, when you in your books, do you have a separate feeding book?
No,
Oh.
each animal gets their own book.
That's what that was going to be my other option.
Right. So each animal gets their own book. If it's produced by me, it will have been given an ID when it was born, and the ID is based on. So this year, all IDs will start with 23. All IDs will start with 23. The first clutch of the year will be 01, and then each animal gets a number, and they'll carry that ID with them right through their life.
Yep.
And then they get a book made up, and I'll say to somebody, even if you lose this book, as long as you've got this ID number, I'll always be able to tell you when that animal was born, who its mum was, and who its dad was, because all that information is logged here. You know,
Give me a holiday, I'll go over there to
Log
Big
in your-
Mike and enter all that stuff, and he can just do the tap.
Yeah. So the idea
What's up, Eric?
is that everything would be. You guys, I'm not watching the chats at all.
So sorry, Lindsay. Where's Eric, brother? I messaged him. Why
In the
isn't he here?
chat.
Hey, get on here, Eric. What are you
I mean,
doing?
he was Noah Keem for a while, then Eric B, then back to Noah Keem. I don't know. PA
You guys,
fan.
I'm going to be right back. Okay.
Eric, where you at, bro?
I feel like Zach has been wanting to say something for a while.
No.
Go, Zach. Tell us
Zach,
something.
with that mullet
I want you to
haircut.
tell us something, Zach, because you haven't said very much apart from pen and paper.
What do you want me to say?
How's your week been? How's the pairing going? All the animals doing their thing?
Yeah, 2 of my females, they've been off food. They're like the most aggressive eaters. They've been off food for 3 weeks straight now. They just refused another meal.
That's a good sign, right? They've got an aggressive feeder that switches off like that. And
Yeah.
again, Zach, this goes back to what we were just talking about, the paperwork, right, bro?
Yeah.
That in 1 year's time, in 2 years' time, when you see those females go off food, you'll immediately know. This is again what me and AJ always talk about behavior cues, because you'll immediately know when that happens that this is the road that you're going on now that is going to take you, to that point.
Yeah.
And it's the gathering of that information.
And, I
And
mean, Mike, I sound like a plant for Husbandry Pro, but you can track follicular development, everything in this app.
yeah, no, I'm
Yeah,
sure,
fucking pay me at this
I'm
point.
sure you can, but
So you can
everybody
track-
like
Track that aspect that you're talking about. where they're, you know, when you know they're building or whatever, you can track that in the app.
Yeah, I'm sure you can, but it's like I don't know about anybody else, but I just like to see it in the paper and just I don't know. Everybody. Listen, you can. AJ said that he doesn't basically bother to record anything because he relies on the Husbandry Pro and he trusts in the Husbandry Pro and he's happy with the way it works. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. That's absolutely fine. That I'm totally happy with my pen and paper and wouldn't even understand why I would want to do it any different. I'm allowed to be
It's
like
never
that.
not worked for you.
Ken's allowed to be how he wants, and AJ and Gage can be how they. You know, we know that there's people that they don't use Husbandry Pro, and they don't actually record anything, and they just have a thing where they just mark
They're working, right?
or if it doesn't feed on the front of the tub, or they write on the tub, and then when they get to 10, they rub it off, and then they start again, and they don't really pay attention.
Yeah, so long as it works, there's no problem.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, I mean, I like this system. I like this program. If you have something that works, like Big Mike has, or Zach has, or whomever, don't break that system. You have a system. Stick with it.
Keep on your system. If it's working, keep on it.
Yeah, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
It's quite unusual, though, that all jokes aside, for a younger generation person to be more, normally
savvy
the
and
young
tech-
people embrace technology.
Yeah, I'm the millennial guy, but
Shy away from
I
it.
don't know.
Yeah.
Zach and Lindsay are also roughly around the same age as me, so we're all like Berlin Wall babies, right?
I thought that Zach is like younger. Zach, are you older than you look?
I'm 33.
Yeah, we're all the same age here.
Yeah, I was born in 89.
Yep, 89. I think Lindsay, you said 88.
88. Yeah, October 88.
Yeah, so we're all the same high school
September.
class. So
Yeah, I just always written it down. I don't know why. I like it like that.
there's nothing wrong with
But
that.
Zach also pays great attention to stuff, guys, because I've seen Zach open his drawers and he's got little humidor meters and everything in each tub that he's
Got a
checking
Gobi in
the
every one.
temperature of each tub.
Right.
Yeah,
Sorry,
they kind of give me anxiety and stress me out. So I make sure I have all those things that let me know what's going on, so I don't have to worry.
Right, because when you have all those systems set up, it means that you, like you say, you don't have to worry. It just makes everything smoother,
Yep.
easier, and calmer.
Right.
But it's going to cost you a fortune, Zach, to keep up with all those little gauges.
Oh, I know. They're like
Yeah.
$20 a piece. I got like 30 of them.
Yeah, and growing, right? And growing.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll probably figure out a different way to do it, but right now it's working.
Oh yeah. Once again, man, if it's working.
Yep. And I still
And
have
if it-
7 animals on the way, so I still have to get more.
905. You guys, I'm reading the comments right now. I feel really on this. 905 said, "What happens if you're late paying for your yearly subscription? Do you lose your info?"
No.
As far as I know, no, they save it. You probably have to pay for another month. I don't know, but it's not lost. It's in their system. It's like a free cloud essentially, right? I guess if you could call it that. But I think that they save it all because I know that.
And if you wanted to leave it, you'd have to print all that information, Lindsay. If you wanted to move to a different product, you would have to just print all that information and that's it then, right?
No.
You can download it on a USB, I bet.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can
you can
download
download it.
PSP.
Onto
Like
USB,
exporting
okay.
the data.
fair
You
enough.
can export the data. So whether it's all exported onto essentially a spreadsheet, which right. So that's originally what I was saying is that's what I was trying to do. Just I'd like to choose the data I want to export. but it exports all the data, all of it, onto a spreadsheet or a PDF or whatever it is that however it exports it. All that information is there, and you can export it at any time. I know that, like, originally when I had signed up, I paid for a month, and then that month expired, and I didn't know that it had expired for another week or something. And then, so for that week, none of my information was there, but it does give you the option to export that data, I believe. Or it says, like, if you purchase another month, whatever it is, and then it has all the information still. So I didn't have to re-enter everything. Everything's still, my account was still there. Everything was still there. And then, so I think it's still saved on there. So you all go to hope that system. Correct. Right, Eric. So that's why I'm still, I do both.
Yeah.
Write everything down.
That's right. It's got it covered.
So
There is that.
hopefully all of my notebooks, right, don't go up in flames somehow or whatever, right? Or I don't lose a notebook, or I don't put coffee all over it. But I've got a backup system, essentially. So still doing double the work. The idea is that you don't have to do double the work, right? You just have to do it once, and that it's all there. But I'm untrusting of all of it, so I do double the work, I guess. It seems silly. I'm a pretty patient person when it comes down to it, so there's that. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, if you're uncomfortable with the Husbandry Pro, there is the ability to export your data, CSV, which, like Lindsay said, is in a spreadsheet, Excel. So you can have that backup there.
That is true, yeah, because we've printed out for some of our customers. You could just take a printout every once in a while if you wanted, and then that would be back up.
Yeah, or you could update it on a USB every 3 months to make sure that, I guess, if anything really did happen, that you had, maybe you lost the last few weeks, but you had the last few years, on that little dongle, and then you're covered,
Yeah. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't
For me,
think
I just think
anybody feel like they have to do it. But
I
So
just
tell us
stick to
what
my-
are everybody's most excited pairings for this year. Tell us the things.
wow, most exciting pairing.
Banana Huffman Hypo Clown to Pastel Pied.
There you go.
All right, nice.
Hannah Huffman, Clown,
Hypo Clown
Triple hats.
to a Pastel Pied.
Nice.
Hell
there you
yeah.
go.
Building for that future.
Right there. Huffman, I don't have any Huffman, but I've heard really great things about Huffman.
Yeah, I like Huffman. Nathan from Infinite Possible Pythons has some good
It's on the
lines.
way up. It's on the way up, Huffman. It's not a new gene.
So too.
It's not a new gene, but it's a gene that was kind of discarded and put down. Because Justin hasn't been the guy who dropped it, it didn't rise immediately to the top, but it is being worked by a lot of very reputable breeders, and it is about to jump up another level or two.
I agree.
Yeah, did you see what Eric wrote there, Gage? Look, read that.
No, I can't say it 5 times
That's
fast.
why I was laughing a
I
second
couldn't
ago.
say it twice fast.
Yeah, right. Well, for everybody that knows me, follows me, my favorite pairing, best pairing this year has been Ultramel Pen to Pied.
Oh yeah.
You've seen the shorts, you've seen me talk about it. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
double head army.
What about
Yeah.
you, Lindsay?
Right now, probably my most anticipated will be the male is Pastel Chocolate Enchi Hypo Het Desert Ghost. 2
That was
Pastel.
a double visual, correct?
What?
That was a double visual, right? Hypo and DP.
Hypo Het Desert Ghost. So he's a
heck.
single visual. And then the female is going to be Pastel Chocolate Desert Ghost Het Enchi. So essentially the same, just reversed. So that's my most excited. That's what I'm most excited for right now. And that's going to be basically like my main only one. I have a couple others that are like, it's not going to be anything huge or exciting, but I've yet to have a clutch. So now, yeah. So right now,
So that's like could be your first clutch. Oh my God.
technically it could be, but I don't know that it will be. I think like I have a few others that are either hets or there are no recessives. Do you know what I mean? Like that I'm just kind of ideally that wasn't going to be a first clutch,
But it might be.
but it might be.
You know, Lindsay, there's nothing wrong with me and Gage were having a conversation with somebody a few months ago that this person was inexperienced at producing clutches, that he had a couple of adult females, but because since he bought them, his collection had moved on and he was going to be doing more upmarket combos, let's put it that way, that he told me that he was gonna just sell these females. And I told him, you know, this was before the beginning of the breeding season. I told him, just breed a visual to them, bro. Make some hets for yourself, and actually learn the process. Go through the process. Pull the eggs. Incubate the egg. You don't want your first clutch to be a 50 grand clutch. You want to have that shit dialed in. You want to have that shit on point before you start dropping clutches like that. So I know the market is a little flat at the moment, and I understand that we're constantly preaching to people not to breed for the sake of breeding because we already have a surplus of animals. But on the other hand, as a new breeder, I would encourage you to get a couple of clutches under your belt.
Yeah. I mean, right now, so right here, I've got, oh, you can't really see it. I've got a 4,000 gram het pied female, okay? Normal.
You said 4,000.
4,000 gram het pied. She's, I call her my little Burmese. So she's huge. I'll pull her out right now. And then I've got a 3,000 gram. And they haven't really been paired because right now I don't have. So hold on, she's a het pied, and then this one 3,000 gram het clown down here, and then I've got a leopard het pied who's like 2,500 grams. Then
and you haven't paired these girls, babe?
I don't really. I don't have. Okay, here's the kicker. If you were to look at my list of animals, I've got like a 1.1 ratio right now. Okay, like male to female wise, and which is horrible. I'm well aware of that. Okay.
Yeah, but you need them backup males.
Right. Okay, so that's my only like saving grace right now. That's what I'm saying. Except none of my males are ready to breed, except for I've got a normal pied. Here are my breeder ready males right now. Normal pied.
But you can throw that to the het pied.
And make up. Okay, here's my issue. I'm gonna make half normal het pieds, half pieds.
But Lindsay, can I ask you it in a different way then?
Next year when I've got killer animals that are
ready
to breed.
But what are you?
You know what I mean?
What killer? But what are you gonna? When you have a het pied female, so we're talking about an animal that is a classic, yeah. I won't use the word normal. You know, I'll use the word classic. And it's het for pied. So basically, no matter how you look at the animal, you're never going to get 100% recessive out of it because it's a het. Okay, there are no codom genes attached to it because it's a classic. So that animal is only good for one thing, or two things: to create visuals. And maybe you could say that you could put a double recessive to it, a clown pied or
I need a clown
something
that's
ultra pied. And then when you get a pied that's het ultra male, and that when you don't get a pied, it's a double het animal. So you can use that animal like that. That's about the strongest way you can use it. So if you're not going to put a pied that is a double recessive to that animal, then just put a pied to it. Because otherwise, where are you going to go with it? It really doesn't have a lot of legs. Its advantages are it's clean. It gives you the ability to separate genes.
So if let's say I had a clown het pied, a pied het clown,
no, because then you're wasting your time. If it's a het pied, none of the babies are going to be 100%. If it's a het clown, none of the babies are going to be 100%. They're going to be pied post het clowns, or they're going to be 100% het clown post het pied.
So clown het pied, then everything would be 100% het clown, 66% het pied.
Yeah. Do you really want to make animals like that? Do you?
I'd rather do that than just make half pieds.
But if then when you Lindsay, if you bred that animal now, in fact, if you'd have bred that animal in October, yeah, by now she'd probably be going off food. By now she'd probably going off food. By well, she probably doesn't eat because she wants breeding. So by now she will be in ovulation, and by April you'll have more pieds. Now you can keep back the visual pieds, grow them up, and replace the het pieds.
I know. AJ, you added something.
Or you could just go buy some pieds.
Right. Well, you know, that's another story as well. But we're talking about utilizing the animal that's already in there rather than just because it's easy to say it's just a het pied classic, move it on and get something better because that's easy to do, right? We can, you know, you got money in your pocket. It's easy to buy animals.
There's no money in my pocket anymore. Not anymore.
Are you sure?
I'm billion% sure. Trust me on that.
I'm just asking.
In my pocket. Yeah.
Be able to test animals now, though. Like, I think that you can run the diets a little harder and try for the bigger things and just send in sheds. And like, if it hits, then you can end up moving a lot quicker now, you know? It's advantage
that Pastel Inchy chocolate hypo het DG or whatever it was there.
Hey,
guys,
earlier today,
test the babies.
That's where all my money is. It's not in my pocket anymore. It's sitting right there in that bin.
So,
right
so
there.
if you got a Super Pastel double het clown sunset, what would you buy?
Super Pastel. Hold on. Double het clown sunset.
This is what Ken from LMK won.
Okay. Yeah. Hold on. I'll tell you
so I'm just curious to see what everybody would buy.
Okay. So first of all, I'm gonna throw this out there. I'm not a huge sunset person. What I would
but now it's in your
hypo clown, or a hypo het clown. Definitely get hypo and or yellow belly in there.
All right, so you're going the clown route for going the sunset.
No, I'm going. No. Oh, I'm so sorry. Hold on. Edit all of that. replace clown with sunset, which I realize that is a very, very, very expensive thing to do. Okay, so
Yeah,
how do
we're
we
talking
do
about
this
like
the most
$2,000 at
affordable,
least.
most affordable, but also the most profitable route, right? So how do we meet in the middle there? Let's go something 66% het sunset. Do your research and see what het sunset has. A hypo 66% het sunset, and see if there are het sunset markers on the animal that you're purchasing. Purchase smart is how I would go with
Lindsay
that.
is going throwing another recessive into that.
You got to get hypo into sunset. There's sunsets. I'm so sorry. Like, I don't mean to be like insensitive here.
No. I mean,
Sunset-
you're the
Right.
first
I
one.
don't,
Sunset.
to be honest, I think you're in a safe place. I don't know about Zach, but I'm pretty sure that there's nobody else on this panel that's even chasing sunset, right?
Are you?
You
So
not,
Zach,
Zach?
do you have
It
sunset?
doesn't appeal to me at all, no.
I mean, we will be getting it, but not me. Brad will be getting a, if I twist his arm enough, a female sunset, so we can work something later down the line. But yeah, nothing here.
Because Lindsay, this is how.
Then a hypo sunset.
If I was to get into a project, I tend to want to start it with a visual male. I'll just buy a visual male of that genetic, that recessive, and I'll run him to 1 or 2 or 3 codoms and 2 or 3 recessive females that I've already got. And then I will just make the whole army myself from that one male. You know that I have over 50 het clown or visual clown females in my collection, Lindsay. You know that they all come from one male, babe. One male. And one female, because I've got a female that I've been feeding the male genetics that I didn't have in female into clowns through that female. And then I've been feeding the female genetics that I had through that male. And I have all of these from 2 animals.
So, is it the animal that? Who was it that got it?
Ken Elm K got the
Okay.
pastel double het clown sunset.
Hold on. Let me write this down on my notebook here, because
Takes notes.
when I write things down, I retain it better. Super pastel.
Right, so everything's pastel. That's coming from this male.
Yep.
It's double het, ultra male, sunset,
No, double het
Sunset clown.
clown. Sunset.
sunset clown.
Is it a female or a male?
It's a male.
Okay, male.
Right, so but Lindsay, all right, let me put it to you like this. If you were to message me and told me, Mike, there's a really good deal, I'm thinking about buying this male. My question to you,
I wouldn't
Lindsay,
buy that.
be,
Yeah.
where are you going with it? Where are you going with it? Now, for me, I'm not interested. I would only be interested in purchasing an animal like that if I already had a double visual.
Or the
Well, this
sunset
is where
female.
I'm screwed in my own collection, right? So I get all of these quality animals, and then I'm like, oh shit. The only way that this pets make sense is if I have either a double visual,
Right. So buying.
or like
So
those,
by buying
those
the
two
iris,
together, a sunset clown, that's the best and worst gift ever. Because now what do you do? So
when
if you don't
when you buy in an unstructured way, unfortunately, this is what happens, and you end up spending even more money because now you realize, oh shit, I bought that female. Now, realistically, I can't make this work unless I'm going to buy that male in to make that work. So now I spent money on that male, and now I'm thinking, well, I might as well get another female because now I've got that male, and it would be silly of me to get that male in and just breed into that one female. So by having that, it's almost like a domino effect. You make that one slightly irresponsible, not thought out purchase, and all of a sudden now you bought another 4 animals around it just to make that project make a bit more sense.
Yeah.
And you're 20 and you're 20 grand in.
Yeah.
So so let's say you win that animal, that
You
male.
put it on Morph Market. You put it on Morph Market,
Oh,
and you
you're putting
move.
that on Marvel. I'm taking my
Honestly, if you're not
buying
you're
that
not
female
big enough
sunset.
to be in
Even
that
if you're
project,
turning normals, you're getting 50% head. Okay, so you're still winning. I don't know. I mean,
With the
I would say you put it on Morph Market. I
no,
say
I'm buying a female sunset, right? That way I know I'm gonna get pastel sunsets, half of that clutch. And then I have clowns in my collection because we all do. And we can deal with that later.
so hold on. You're purchasing the sunset or sunset het clown?
No, I'm purchasing a sunset female
The sunset female. Okay.
to go with that super pastel double hat
Okay.
sunset because everybody has clowns, right? So we can deal with that, intermingling later. But the sunset is the gene we're, the money gene right now.
That's right. Right now it is.
So if I get the female,
Lindsay, you want to know what recessive you should get? You know, if I had money, the 2 recessives I would buy, it wouldn't be sunset.
no, it wouldn't be for me either.
Me neither, which is why I don't have any.
By this situation.
I don't have any hets or visuals. But if it's given to you, okay.
Well, I would. Well, it's just that I'm more of a fan of something like puzzle or paints. Puzzle or paints.
That's nice.
Me too. My
And
kids-
last
Yeah.
week you were like,
Right.
I'm not touching this. Don't put me on the soul.
So I'm with you on that, Mike. But it was given to you, and you know that it is a money gene right now. How do you use that to your advantage? I think
But it's very. But it's almost like that irresponsible purchase, isn't it, Lindsay? When that snake is with, no, I know, but your reaction to it is going to be the same as that irresponsible purchase. Now you have this animal, and now I need to buy a team of animals around it. You know, I could use this as a marketing ploy. I could give that animal away free. Now, next week, when that animal arrives, you're going to hit me up and tell me, bro, have you got a male to go with that female that I won in that raffle? It just so happens I do, bro. There you go. I'll show you that male. By the way, you might as well take a second female because it'd be silly to buy that male in from me and breed him just to the female that you won. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll give you a nice deal on a 1.1 and you've got the free one as well, and you'll be right in the project. So now that animal that was free just cost you 2 animals.
Yeah, and an expensive project that you weren't even planning on being in.
Right. In an expensive project that you didn't actually get him because you loved it. You got him because somebody gave you the animal for free.
Okay, so let's say you have a normal het pied.
A what head pie?
Yeah.
Normal. Right here. Normal
I would
het
be
pied.
breeding a pride to it.
So
I
you
would
breed it to her. You breed
It's a
it
female?
to a normal het clown, right? Because then you get a quarter of them will be clowns, 50% het sunsets. All will be pastel clowns, right? Nobody wants a pastel clown right now, quote unquote, right?
Yeah, they're all haters.
Right, a bunch of haters. So that's fine though, because they're 50% of them will be het sunset, and then you sell the male, right? So you've got a female here, and you've got some pastel clown het sunsets, 50% het sunsets, and hopefully, we hope that by then there's testing. If there's not, then you are looking at every single scale on that snake, trying to figure out if it's a het sunset or not. right?
or throwing monsoon there. But yeah, I mean, if I have that in a possibility,
50% het clown says 50% het clowns. Or het sunset.
Yeah, but in the meantime, Lindsay, you're spending time, effort, and you're giving real estate to that animal because it's holding up a slot. It's holding up a slot, right?
That's why I don't even want to pay
Now,
to my hide here. Do you know what I mean?
I would personally be just putting a pie to that animal. I would be putting a pie to that animal, holding back the visual pies to use the visual pies to get into other double recessive projects or to get into just more producing more fancy pies. And that female would stay in my rack until I didn't have a space for her and I would just continue to do the same with her because if I want her to be in my collection until I've got a double recessive that I can put to her. I might have a triple recessive one day. I might have a hypo clown pied. I put that to her now because she's a 4.5, 5 kg female that produces 12 eggs a year, that I don't mind the fact that I got 5 pies and they're all double het hypo clown.
Right.
And the rest of them all triple hets because she produces 10 eggs every year.
Well, and that's where to me makes perfect sense. She's a 12 egg clutch girl, right?
Right.
So,
but I hate producing pos hets. I refuse to keep pos hets. I refuse to keep pos hets. I won't keep pos hets. I only make pos hets because I'm searching.
Puzzle. What if it's a pos het sunset pos het puzzle? Pos het desert ghost.
Lindsay actually has a good point. So
but I wouldn't be making them in the first place, Lindsay, because I would be.
Perhaps you could learn a couple things from the young grasshoppers here.
Well, no, I gave up a possible. I think it was a pair, sunset possibles for my clown DG / enhancer from Antoine, and Bobby and Holly from Texoma won that the other week. So. Did I want to gamble on that? Hell yes. But did I want the safe bet? Yeah, that's what I'm taking.
So,
sorry, Lindsay, 1 second. Just a friend of mine just shout to Chris all the way from Australia. Thanks, Chris, for tapping in. Oh, we've got an echo all of a sudden. Anyway, I don't care.
I get that.
Thanks for coming in. It's good to see you. Hope to speak to you in the next couple of days, bro. Much luck, bro. Yeah, go on, Lindsay. Sorry.
Just be like, no, buddy.
So for me, Lindsay, I get what you're saying about keeping it and getting into a project, but I would say to people that it's okay to be like that, but I would rather work less projects and be stronger in the project that I'm in by being very specific about how I breed. Do I make pos hets? Lindsay, I make a ton of pos hets. That animal that I showed you the first time we met with the zigzags down it, it's a pos het. But that animal was created by breeding 2 hets that I produced myself, that I was looking for the golden nugget out of that clutch. I'm set up to breed in a way where at the moment I'm dealing mostly with hets, but those hets I produced myself. And if I start to get 1, 2 golden nuggets, i.e. the visual from each clutch, and keep them back, I'm going to make them into visuals. I'm going to replace the hets with visuals, and then the visuals are going to get better and better and better. And I would rather stay tighter and stronger, rather be messing around with pos hets and this and that. I would rather do less less recessives, but be stronger in the ones that I'm in. I actually got out of G-Stripe today. I got out of G-Stripe yesterday.
Like,
Not because I had anything against the G-Stripe, just because I decided that for me to stay as strong as I wanted to in the recessive project I was always ready in, that it was a mistake for me a year ago to have bought that G-Stripe. It was a mistake for me. I'm going to be sitting on about 4 clutches of Het G-Stripes that I'm going to end up selling them all because I've decided to not be involved in that project.
so, question, Kent. Kent, he on the border of, or is he trying to figure out how to?
Sorry, that broke up.
There's a really bad echo all of a sudden, Lindsay.
Let me close my app. My volume's on, but my
Oh,
phone.
you listen to us, you're watching us live, getting us watch hours.
Closed out of everything on my phone, so I don't know if does that help.
Let me mute myself.
All right, so what's your question, Lindsay?
So my question is Ken wondering what he needs to purchase compared to Sunset Clown or Sunset Het Clown, or is he wondering if he should sell his Sunset Het Clown? Or is he
I'm pretty sure he's keeping it. It's how does he make this project work for him, right? So what's the best avenue? And
what are
I
the
think
projects that he's working on right now?
definitely not Sunset.
That's solid.
Well, neither am I. But if I were to have that,
I think
say
he's
I won
got
that, okay,
he's
I
got clown. I mean,
try and
like
figure-
recessives.
would you
He's not
say?
working with much. You know,
I
clown.
don't know.
So like I go heavy into clown and gamble on the sunset, or buy into the sunset by him.
I wouldn't buy into Sunset.
Well, but if you wouldn't buy into it, Lindsay,
It's really expensive.
And
But
yeah,
if you
you
would've
spend that $5,000 now. Next year, you're gonna
Have to grow the female up to
How much
3
is
years.
male. And
How much
you're
is
gonna
the
pull back.
MLA right now? Do we know?
And this is something we've been fighting about all day. Like Malaysia and I were talking about it. Like, what the hell do you do with that fucking state?
Well, I think a hypo clown.
Yeah,
But-
go in even harder through the sunset.
Right, right. That makes the Dutch
Gamble on
it
the
makes it a
sunset.
little bit more difficult. But
I would have a hard time keeping that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, Ken has a really small collection, so it's really hard. I have a small collection too, but I mean, I have 5 recessive projects that I'm working double,
How many-
triple.
snakes do you have?
30. But
Okay. You have
there's-
5 different
yeah, I'm working on a lot.
Can I ask a question? How much is a visual sunset to buy nowadays? How much is a male?
Around
$5,000.
like $5,000.
4 or 5. Yeah.
So Lindsay, if I gave you $5,000 tomorrow,
I wouldn't buy a fucking Sunset. I'll tell you that much.
I'd buy it.
but I
Female
told you
sunset
had
and
to
put
buy
on a small
into a
boot.
new project. You had to buy into a new project. You couldn't buy into an existing project.
Okay.
redhead.
I don't
An
know.
existing project in my collection.
AJ's answer.
An existing project in your collection. You had to utilize that money. No, Zach, I get it, but
Rough, maybe.
is it enough to buy a paint? It's enough to
conversation
buy a
to have,
paint. $5,000, isn't it? Isn't $5,000 enough to buy a paint?
I have a het paint, and listen here, okay? So paint's a sensitive subject for me. I don't think. Okay, hold on. I'm not convinced that paint is a recessive. I can easily be swayed. Some days I think it is, some days I think it's not. My het paint, I don't have any het hides that look like a het hide, okay? My het paint looks like a lighter version of paint.
Have you ever pressed the information button on paint on Morph Market, Lindsay?
Mm-hmm.
Ever pressed the information button and read the whole paragraph?
Gene on Morph Market. Yeah, Big Mike.
So have you read what he says?
That it used to be thought as a.
And basically, the reason he changed it is that some animals that he felt had markers for paint proved out not to be paint. And then he bred animals that were supposed to not be paint, and they ended up making super paints. And so this is why they changed the tag, because it wasn't really for sure.
So,
who's got the power to put Lindsay on solar?
I'm doing this now, Lindsay. Just give me a second.
That's a nice animal.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay.
wait, hold on. Okay, so
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good looking animal.
Chris, het paint.
Lower. There we go.
But do you
Markings
see
behind the head are nice.
his head? Hold on.
So,
Right behind the head's really nice. So
is that 100% het paint, or is that a posset paint?
100% het paint.
Right. And is that a male or a female, Lindsay?
He's a male, don't you know?
Okay. And what's the plan for him?
I don't have one yet. That's the kicker. So here's why I got him. Okay, I don't have any Cypress in my collection, and I knew I wanted to be in the paint/Sentinel game. And when I saw him, I knew I wanted both Sentinel and paint. And for the price that he was posted, I figured that's an animal that will eventually. Okay, so doesn't make a whole bunch of sense, but he's really pretty, and he's definitely het paint. Okay, so like there's no doubt in my mind that it's not het paint. So
No, that's fine. That's fine.
So
fine.
Even if I pair him, I could technically pair him. He will literally bite my face. I could pair him to a het hide. Do you know what I mean? Like, but he's not,
right.
he's not ready to
No, it's going to be het pod.
yes. I don't care. I'm not going to read her anything this year. What is it? If he were ready to breathe, I don't know. Talk me up. Because that's my thinking on it, and I don't feel like I'm that crazy right now. Nobody tells me that I am. But you.
I mean, we all have a bunch of reptiles, so yeah, you're fine.
Tell me your thinking, Big Mike.
Yeah, you know, for me, I do a couple of like het-to-hets because I'm looking for the visual out of the het-to-het. I'm not too sure whether I'm going to do a het of one animal to a het of another animal to produce a whole clutch of post. Like it's just for me that would be a bit scary. For me, that would make me feel that I was working in an inefficient way. I would rather not be in it. I would rather. So if it were me, Lindsay, I'd have bought that het paint. I'd have bought that het paint as a female.
A yellow belly to a yellow belly.
Can we get
Ideally, I have a yellow
AJ's
belly
opinion?
fire paint female.
Paint.
I mean,
You woke
Chris
up.
and Fire phenomenal. So and then yellow belly is just great always anyway. So yellow belly paint female would be ideal.
That's like I'm gonna scratch my wallet.
But that's like 25, $3,000, which now here I am purchasing animals for a male. You know,
Right.
that's not
Exactly
something
what
I'm gonna do. So
exactly what we
if I
said.
just hold him, even if I just have him, I think that paint is going to be a thing, okay, eventually. And I got him for
then
price.
go with it.
And I think
man.
Cyprus will be too. Cyprus will be too once we figure it all out. So once, because I think
AJ,
I'm not totally
AJ
sold.
prefers puzzle, right? Don't you?
What's
AJ, you prefer puzzle, right?
I do like
Yes.
puzzle.
You don't
But
like puzzle?
out of the two, paint or puzzle?
You think this has something similar to puzzle?
No. Like me and AJ have had this conversation before, and if AJ had to have paint or puzzle, I've always said to the boys, paint or puzzle, because they're both they're not the same, but they're in a sort of similar price range, and they're in a sort of similar amount of people in the project. They're both projects waiting to explode. I think that some of the stuff coming out of the puzzle project now is starting to look better and better.
Yes.
And I've always, it's really coming along now, AJ, right? It's really coming along. It's taken them a while to work out how to get the puzzle to look right and blah, blah, blah. But it's really coming along now.
Yeah, whatever with it. Yeah.
I've always been a fan of the Paint Sentinel project.
Yeah, Lindsay,
It's
you
equally crappy.
you're working on that. Hell yeah. Keep that. Work that hard. Work what none of us are doing, right?
Right. I mean,
Find your niche, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure Zach has found it with his awesome mullet. Sorry,
I
like
can you
pinpoint
talk about your
off of people in the
Yeah,
chat.
but and animals as well, Ken. Have you seen some of the animals he's packing?
Yeah, I think so, but I just get distracted by that fucking mullet.
He wants to make out with your bullets, Zach.
And that guy that Keys had on Friday night on his show, AJ, he had some heat, that guy.
Oh, Windy City.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Juan has some.
Jeez.
Yeah.
There was some, like, when it got late night, it got better for snakes, but earlier it's funny as hell.
So Zach, what are you working with? What are your main projects?
Well, this year I was just kind of the one I'm looking forward to the most is I bred my spot nose clown Melta, my banana blade clown, and a blade clown. I'm just
Awesome.
and yeah. My first clutch ever was a Partho clutch. I bought a female from a guy named Rob Starsman in New York as a black pastel bamboo, and she hadn't been paired that year, and she came and she ovulated and she laid 6 eggs and they all hatched. So that was my first clutch ever.
Damn,
Super cool.
better than
Yeah.
mine.
So this is my first technical year breeding.
Yeah.
Oh, we gotta do.
And listen to the pairing he's doing. I was doing normals to pastels in my first year of breeding.
Yeah, well, I also have 2 clown to clown pairings after that too, but it's just they're pastel clown. It's a pastel leopard clown to a pastel clown. So I was gonna try to make super pastel leopard clowns. I just like the way they look.
Nice.
Hey, honestly, I do too.
I got one of those. I got one of those with Mojave in it as well.
They look good.
You pastel haters.
I love
I kind of like pastel.
I love
So on
it.
that-
I worked with
Hypo
Hypo.
is phenomenal
I'm
in a lot of pairings, so you're not wrong there. And I think that people are just being silly right now with pastel. The thing is that pastel is in so many things that you just have to be careful with like what you are trying to pair. Like so when we got my female Hypo Desert Ghost Girl, I specifically did not want pastel in her, even though I know that pastel and Desert Ghost are great together.
With
No.
that white line of pastel,
I
right,
knew
Mike?
any male that I got would just have pastel because everything has pastel. Do you know what I mean? So like I had to specifically
That
pick
right line.
females without ride that line of even
You
though
find that
she would be
line.
prettier if she did have pastel. She'd be prettier if she did.
Yeah, because some lines of pastel, like in clown, they don't really brown out. Because I have my
there's some lines
pastel
that are
clown,
great.
she's huge. She's like 4,200 grams, and she's still yellow. She still looks pretty good.
Yeah, I got a great super pastel.
Yeah, you lucky.
Milky pastel that I produced. I like that right line.
Yeah, and then the super pastels, they usually throw better pastels too in the clutches.
Completely blue right now.
If you have one good
And as a
line,
girl that is like, look at how yellow. Hold on, how do we do this?
Yeah.
Mike,
Big,
can
dude.
you throw Lindsay on?
Yeah, just give me 1 sec.
Like she's in full on blue. Like
I mean, it's a big old snake, and
Pastel goes good with fire too.
Yeah,
right.
second guys, I'll press the wrong button. There you go.
Vanilla, whatever. I
she's
mean,
in shed is
lemon
like
hands
an
are-
understatement.
it just work. Look at that. Look at that banding
With those blue eyes.
that we already got. Look at them.
Yeah, she's really yellow. She's a
That's
blue too.
right?
She is, yeah, but he's so bright. I mean, he was. She's just a pastel. And I think she's got entry.
I would agree.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
got NG as well, babe.
Yeah, I would think pastel and she. Looking at the banding.
She is so bright when she's not in shed. She
It
is.
looks
Yeah,
good.
she's got the NG as well, keeping me
I
bright.
mean, look at that blushing off the dorsal, like side gut, right?
Yeah.
Look at that side gut.
The alien heads are huge too.
I mean, I feel like it's pastel and she all day.
I mean, but that's what I'm saying is that pastel. Nothing beats how pretty she was sold to me as, or given to me as a single gene pastel. Okay, so pastel and G, so whatever. Either
Whatever,
way, there's
you
nothing else in her.
Pretty Jean, right?
She's gorgeous. She's beautiful. I think.
And she's
She's
big.
one of the brightest snakes, and she's one of the biggest ones. So there's that.
I mean, either she's big or you're tiny. I can't tell.
I'm both.
She's pretty big.
She literally is huge.
They're
She,
5 feet long almost.
I can
What's
tell
that?
you, I'm 5'8", so I'm super tall. But yeah,
I mean,
she won't
it's got to be.
catch up.
How many grams do you think that is, guy?
I can tell you exactly how many she is because I just weighed her the other night.
Yeah,
Oh, my
2,400.
notebook here.
3,200.
3,000 grams.
Yeah, she's big.
She was the first one to weigh. Pastel. I had my daughter help me with the rest of it. Look at her little writing. She's so cute. She really loved it. So, yeah, 3,000 grams.
Damn.
But she's bright. So don't write off pastel.
Yeah, and that's
I
in
agree.
blue, right?
For sure.
Yeah, I'm not gonna let the internet scare me away from the gene.
Yeah, don't, because they'll all come back to it. It's,
Because if it doesn't sell, I just keep it. I don't care. I'm not really into it for the money right now, anyways.
Yeah, well, I mean,
It's just fun. It's really fun.
Make
It
better
is.
shit, right?
so fun, and the second it stops being fun, then just get out, because you shouldn't be in it for the money, I don't think.
Nope.
I'm not in it for the money. If I make money, fantastic. But
Oh yeah.
I'd like to just make back the money that I put into it, and after that, like,
Yeah.
and even at that point, I don't even care how long it takes to make back the money that I put into it. It's
Yeah,
just
if the
if
rats pay for the
at
things.
the end I'm still enjoying it, that's perfect
There.
for me. This is a fun thing that I enjoy.
Oh,
I just like how interesting they are. Every single snake is completely different from one another. They all have a different personality. None of them are the same. It's really weird.
yeah.
Big time. Big time.
I can pull my spiciest ball python. He's gonna be like, pull out the boa. Zach, you know what I'm talking about. That boa.
Yeah.
He hates me. But yeah, I mean,
Brad Boa? That what you
I
said?
mean, the worst my snakes get, they just hiss at me. They don't really strike.
yeah, I mean, I was talking to Malaysia about that earlier. Like my champagne pastel male, who should breed, isn't. He's all hissing and puffing at me. See, well.
So, guys, I'm going to put this backstage in a hot minute because I don't want to be known for this guy for 4 hours live. We can always carry on sitting back here for a little while.
You've only been 90 minutes the past. New live.
Yeah, I know. Plus, we had an hour on the other show. That's 2.5 hours of looking at my ugly face on the internet on one night.
Come on. It's Saturday night. Sit down. Come on, Mike. Everybody's got to look at your face.
No. Well, we can sit down, bro. We can sit down. And anybody in the chat that wants to join us on a backstage, just hit me a gauge up after we end this. And if there's room and you haven't got your penis out or anything like that, we'll let you know.
I'm actually
going
going to
know what that's about, Lindsay, then ask a few people and they'll tell you. Thanks for those that
People don't do that, do they really?
They do.
catch you next week, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And hopefully by then, one of these guys will have the after show on their channel. Peace out, guys.
Have a great night, everybody. Thanks for stopping by.
Bye, everybody.